Kia ora, my name is Ellie and welcome to Oasis. Today I'm going to show you how I go from this to this table in an artist alley. This kind of works for any show, any trade show or market, but this is specifically for artist alley. This is an artist alley table. I make soap and candles, all nerdy themed, and I sell at artist alley. I've been doing it for 4 years now and this is how I do it. So please sit back and enjoy this video while I tell you everything.
From a race, my heart, it started racing. The crowd across the way, the flowers on your face, and then I'm from the 80s. Someone keeps blocking my way. I can't feel far.
So I always start my prep before the event, and that is when I'm at home, when I'm starting to work on my stock. I always make sure I do a stock take before I go to events. I think this is really important. I know some people just do like a guesstimated stock take, but it's really important you know what you're taking so then you know what you sell, or you know if something gets lost. I don't stock take while I'm at the event, however I do a after event stock take, to be honest. I used to do one during the event but it got too confusing with too many people. So yeah, I always pack everything into these clear bins, which you can see that I'm putting them into. This is me labeling things last minute. I don't normally do that. Actually, I do normally label last minute. And I always make sure that I have a clear way of seeing my stock at the event. At some events I have shelves that go behind my table. At other events I don't. This particular event I didn't, so I've got some late footage from another event to show you the shelves that I do. But when I first then get to an event, I make sure I put my tablecloth down. This is me, I didn't film at the event that I was originally showing you, but it's the same venue, so you get the idea. Put my tablecloth down and then I start on my shelving. I have got two different types of shelving. One is from a place on Etsy, the other one is from standout displays, and I always put my candles on the shelving and all of my items so I know exactly what I have with me. If I don't do this I get really confused and things get overwhelming, and then once I know what I'm taking, I've got these shelves that you can kind of see on the side, and that is where I put all of my items. If you have smaller items it doesn't really matter about the shelving, you can put them somewhere else, but this is just for me, it's what works for me. And sometimes on the day of or whatever I have extra items that I bring because I've got extra space. I don't do a pre-planned layout, to be honest, but that's okay. My next thing is moving on to the day of the event. This is what I do in the morning when I first get there. I use these sheets that I used to use the tablecloths. I just now use them as coverings. If you're doing a multi-day event, it's really handy to have some sort of way to hide your stuff. It means it's easier for people to know if something's been misplaced, to be honest. And also just makes you feel better, more secure. So then once I take those off, I spend time putting items on the shelves where they're meant to go. So a lot of taller items I'll take off because I don't want them to fall over, obviously, that would be kind of bad. But yeah, I'll put the things back in their place. I'll make sure everything looks really nice and clean. As you can see, I've got one candle per shelf, and then I'll also start taking off the lids. I'll take off one lid per candle, normally the smallest size. Sometimes it'll also be the middle size, whatever I'm feeling on the day. It changes every time. This means people can smell my products without taking off lids. People still take off lids off the other items, but that's fine. And then once I've done all that front thing, I start on my money setup. This is one of the last things I do, and that's just because I like to have everything else organized, and then I can start taking sales really quickly if I really have to. Once the money is set up, I will then do bags. In this case I had little boxes, but other events I have bags, and I will just make sure that my food's in the right place and I'm just ready for the day and all organized. It's really important to keep things clean. So what Byron and I have done is we do sections. One section will be where we put our food, the other one will be bags. You can see here that's our bag section. This is business cards and kind of a little bit messy. I brought those for a bit. And my glasses, hand sanitizer we've started bringing back to events, and then our money section. This is also where I'll normally put my lids from the candles I took off because I am still selling those candles. If it's more clear like that one there, I'll have nothing behind it, and here's just extra products that wouldn't fit in the boxes underneath, for example soaps and stuff, and those are my bags that I made. And here's the underneath storage. Normally they are on the shelves behind, but in this case obviously they weren't, so here are all things organized, so it's easier to grab out candles for when we need them. So that is the event set up. Really basic, really easy. Just staying organized is my main tip, honestly. And then here is end of the day, and also after events we will always put the tablecloths back over, or the sheets that we use, for example, so then you can see people are stealing, After the event is finished, we will start packing down. I will always start probably half an hour before the event actually finishes if it's not too busy, and that is taking away like all the things you don't need, rubbish, drink bottles, stuff like that. And then we'll start packing down the items. We'll always start with something I didn't cover is my decorations. Each person's display is different. For in particular, we have this fake ivy. We'll take that down first as well within like the last 15 minutes. And we'll always leave that poster up for as long as possible so people can still see who we are. Once we've done that, and we can actually start packing up at the event, because most events will penalise you if you start packing down early, we will then start packing down products. I always try to make sure products are with other ones that weren't sold, like underneath the table, the ones to display, so it's easier for me to stock take after the event. But if I don't have time, that's fine. We just kind of figure it out, and then we'll start taking down the shelves, just kind of do it in the same order that you started, but opposite, if that makes sense. I really like these easy to collapse displays because I find it way more efficient for doing stuff and easier to fit in the car, and it's not as stressful. We do have some displays that aren't take downable. I don't know, like they're just solid, you can't collapse them, and we only use them for if Byron's selling at an event. We don't use them if it's just me, because they kind of just take up a lot of space and they're a bit annoying. So yeah, otherwise that's kind of the process. I will slowly start to put things away, organize things, put like with like, candles will go together, non-candle items all go in these boxes, and these are the boxes I use. I think they're 45 litres, maybe less, from Sistema, but any sort of box like this is really handy, even if you're not a candle maker. If you do stickers and stuff, there's some really good boxes out there and they're really handy. So that's all I have to say. If you guys have any other videos that you'd like me to do, please let me know by leaving a comment down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this little artist alley tip or table tip video. I know it's very short and quick. I'll see you guys all next week with another video. Ka kite anō. Thanks for watching.
My love language is your time and attention. Won't you give some of it to me?